Everybody, and welcome to the final round of the Crest Touring Car Challenge coming from Spa, and it's the full-blown Spa as well. There it is. That's today, the 4th of the 4th, 2024. It is the last round of the season. I will be here with you up until about 10:30 tonight, where we should have a provisional champion crowned. Car choices, as always, it is the little hatchbacks this season. They are absolutely fantastic. I love the little hatchbacks. There is 2 Peugeot 308s, 2 Hyundai i30s, no Golf GTIs, couple of Megans. Don't think there's any Astras left. Couple of Honda Civics, quite a lot of Giuliettas, and a lot of the Cupras. There's the track. It is the full-blown Spa circuit, 4.35 miles long, 7 kilometres, established in 1921. That is the long version that goes all the way out. We're not racing on that one. There are 10 right, 10 left turns. RaceRoom cost is £4.27 of your English pennies. As always, what I say is if you're interested in RaceRoom, wait till they get one of their deals. It's the best way of doing it, of getting the circuits. Previous winners, Alex Everett is the most successful driver here in the Crest Autosport League. Then you've got Tadziki, which he's not here anymore. Dory, and then a bunch of other people. Perkis is also still racing. But it is all set to get exciting tonight. There are 25 drivers currently in the lobby. That's how the driver standing punks out. Michael Clough finally takes it into the lead, into the final round. Would I put my money on Mr. Clough? No, I would not. Simply because Pavel Makonin in second position is absolutely mighty fast. He's 27 points behind. That's not a lot when you get to the tail end of the championship. Plus, he's got less ballast on board. It's 45 kilograms, and here at Spa, ballast is everything. Third is Benny Norton. Lee Horn is in fourth, so realistically it's an outside chance for both Norton and Horn to take the championship. But Lee Horn and Benny Norton are only separated by 22 points. Stu Neal's back further down, 40 points. I don't think he's really going to play into this. Poddy Flack and Alex Ward and Fraser Rostance. So Fraser Rostance, I think, will be the supporting act to Alex Ward. Save it and pause it for everybody else further down. In terms of the team championships, the 2 Apex Predators have pretty much got that nailed up now for the rest of the season. I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat them realistically. Lee Horn and Alex Ward and Rostance, in Next Gen Racing White. They're the 308s. Maybe they'll be able to get into second, but I doubt that very much. In terms of the championships, these are the CA1, CA2 and CA3 categories. There is a lot to play for tonight. So Cloughy leads CA1 by Makonin and Norton. They're your top 3. Alex Ward, teammates to Fraser Rostance, who's currently in 7th and could pip Poddy Flack to 6th in the CA1. But Alex Ward is 180 points basically ahead of Craig Deeks. Alex Ward should, failing any stupidity, basically tick that one out of the box. Boki's in 3rd. Is Boki in? Yes, he is. And he's fighting Paul Hans in 4th, so he's not far off. But I think CA2 is basically done. CA3, you've got Roy Plummer, Derek Neal and Carl Smith, and they're all going to be fighting out the championship. So that's how it stacks up. I'm your commentator. That's me, Andy Pawley. I will be here for the rest of this evening's proceedings. If you are interested, let's get all this information up and running. We've got 5 minutes 48 of the practice session. I will be here. I will be bringing you all the action. As always, there's 27 drivers in tonight. We've been hovering around the 23 to 25 drivers. We're back to the full assortment of 27. I'm not expecting any more, so it is going to be absolutely crucial for Michael Clough to finish as close as to Pavel Makonin in race 1, sorry, in qualifying as is humanly possible. And that's how it stacks up. Hello and welcome to the commentary box one final time for the evening. It's going to be very exciting. You've got myself here and you've got my legendary pink blind, spotty blind. That will be here for tonight's proceedings as well. So we've got 3 races coming up for you. We've got the rest of the practice session, 4 minutes 54 seconds remaining. We then have a 10-minute qualifying session, I think. I still can't remember, 10 or 15, somebody will tell me. And that will determine the positions for race 1. The qualifying positions will then reset the ballast for races 2 and 3. So, realistically, if Pavel Makonin is faster, which he probably will be, he is an esports driver, he should be in a good position for races 2 and 3, realistically. We then got a 15-minute race for race 1. Race 2, top 10 reversal from race 1. So top 10 finishing positions from race 1 are reversed. Now the biggest asset that Michael Clough has is that he's got Stu Neal, Poddy Flack, Benny Norton, Shaw's Usa and technically Jean Petra all will be vying for him. Makonin did have Kozlov and Alec at the start of the season, but unfortunately they couldn't carry on. They had to drop out for the remainder of the season, so he's lost his teammates basically. And there is going to be a lot of team play coming on board. Alex Ward has rejoined for the this season. Do I think Alex is going to come into this? No, I don't, realistically. Yes, there has been some bad blood between him and Makonin at the start of the season and him and Cloughy, really. But he really just needs to have a good result, get the points, tick the boxes, and stay away from them, basically, is what he needs to do. Because if he gets caught up in that, he could determine the outcome of the championship. So that's going to have to be very, very tricky for him, to be honest. So we'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. For CA2, I'm pretty sure that Alex Ward has got this in his little 308. He did, don't forget, out at Laguna Seca, he took a race victory this time out as well. Fraser Rostance currently in 7th, but Rostance in CA1 could get a CA1 position into 6th up from 7th. So he's going to have a lot to play for as well. CA3, you've got Roy Plummer currently leading in there as well. I think Roy's going to take that realistically, failing any huge mishaps or mistakes. I'm pretty sure that he's going to take it. I think that's just going to be a tick box exercise for him, and he's going to check himself out as it stacks up at the current moment. Lap time 2:31, currently fastest 2:31, 2:64 by Jean Petra. Do I think that's going to be any the fastest time? I still think there's a little bit in that. I'm still expecting us to be in the 1:30s. It'll be a tall order. Like I said, it's 10 left, 10 right, 7 kilometres. And at the moment, Jean Petra hasn't gone fastest in every single sector. Qualifying. So go back to qualifying. Qualifying is... it's open qualifying, which means that it's not hot lapping, so there is going to be team games at play. There's, with 27 cars on track, space is going to be important. They are going to get themselves toes going up the hills, up Eau Rouge. We know that's going to happen. So that's going to be tricky as well. So I think Michael Clough could get himself higher. But in race 1, Michael Clough needs to finish top 4. That's his objective. Top 4. If he's got Shaw's user, Benny Norton or any of those above him, that's what he needs. He just needs to finish. He needs to qualify 1 position behind Pavel Makonin in race 1. He just needs to finish basically within 1 car's length. Basically, he just needs to finish behind him in everything. And mathematically, he would take the victory, failing any incidents for the championship. It's a shame because Pavel, I think, he's driven superbly through the entire season. He's done a great job. He's just been unlucky with his teammates that haven't been there. And at this level now in the CA1 categories, you need your teammate. Because there has to be a lead driver and there has to be a second driver as well. So that's going to be exciting. Right, we're going to go back across to the main feed and we are still in auto direct mode while we've got 23 seconds remaining. And that should take us into who is going to be the fastest one of the session. Again, as we're watching on board now, you've got Pavel Makonin, and behind that is John Petra. One of them's giving him a point poke up the other end, I think is the way to say that. So they're both going to be trying to get themselves... it's all to play for at the moment. So we're going to run this in window, and we're going to see what happens in terms of the session. Alex Ward, CA1, CA2 currently, and it is all to play for. Right, we have the timing screens. We're going to hit the auto direct. And we are going to see who is fastest at the moment. So this is going to be very exciting. So Jean Petra has gone first out. He's absolutely launched the car to begin with. He's decided that he doesn't want any part of this, and he is going to be first out on track. So Jean Petra, it was currently fastest in the session. He was at 1:31.264 in practice session. So he was fastest. There's no tyre choice. They're all on primes as it stands at the moment. There's the 34. That is that is going to be Stu Neal. He's in the background. Shaw's user. He's in the 99. We're going to keep an eye on Jean Petra as he goes through. Can he do anything from here at the moment? 15 minutes of the qualifying session as it stands at the moment. So they're going to be getting themselves ready. They'll be building themselves up, because they're going to have to put the lap on the board. They're going to need a banker at a 2:30. So you're looking at 2 minutes really on your out lap, 2 minutes, 53 minutes. So you'll have 10 minutes left. Now you can reset and go straight back into the pits, but then you've got to do another 2 minutes 30. So have they fueled the car for 2 laps? Have they fueled the car for a warm-up and a hot lap? Reset, warm-up, hot lap. And at best, out of that, you'll get 3 laps, really, if you do that, 3 hot laps. If you're doing 2 full warm-up laps. That's the best you're going to get. So it's all to play for because of the lap distance. Don't forget, it was 15 minutes, and we're already 2 minutes into this qualifying session, and nobody has put a lap on the board yet. So it's gonna be exciting. It's really gonna have to. They're gonna have to think about car placement. If they make one mistake, they're gonna have to abandon the lap and either keep going for the next lap or back to the pits, change the fuel and go for it. Right, Jean Petra is currently going to be first driver round as it stands at the moment. We're going to keep an eye on Jean Petra through the final chicane he goes, and then into the start-finish straight. What can he do? So he will be the fastest driver in Sector 1 because he's going to be the first driver through the sector. As it stands at the moment, all drivers except for Clough, Lopez and Ola have not left yet. All drivers in sector, all drivers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about half of the drivers are currently on their first lap. Jean-Petre absolutely giving everything, riding on board with him now as he comes through the long right-hander. This is where a toe is absolutely crucial as it stands at the moment. Where is Pavel Makonin? He's currently second fastest on the board in sector 1 is what the game's showing. Now we're going to get a true picture of the pecking order as it stands at the moment. Jean-Petre fastest, 41.665 in that sector. Nobody is in the 41.665s. He's the only driver. Everyone else on the board is in the 41.7s. Roy Plummer, 42. A lot of 42s on the board at the moment. Stu Neal and Pavel Makonin both level on 41.741. Stu Neal is a little bit faster than Pavel Makonin, according to the timing sheets. It's placed him slightly up on the board. It's that sector 2 times is what we're interested in. Who will be victorious through sector 2 as we're going now down the crest of the hill? Down and down and down they go, building up that speed through the right-hander. Don't want to run wide here because it will compromise you through the next series of corners. He manages to get a good exit out of there. No one else is in the 41.6s. This man here is the fastest man on track as it stands at the moment. Another right-hander. It's 10 left, 10 right. It just keeps going and going and going. 157.9 to 111.3. Stu Neal did make time up in that sector. So Stu Neal has gone slightly faster than Jean-Petre at the moment. He's made up to a 111.398 in that sector, so he's gone a little bit faster. Question is, can he do anything? Can Jean-Petre? He will be fastest in that sector because he's just gone purple and gone purple. They're all going purple on the board. Michael Clough is finally out on track. Jean-Petre will go fastest through that sector. Jean-Petre, fastest lap of the race. Currently standing, no one's going faster. Fraser Rostance is going a little bit faster. He's improving, but not good enough. In 7th he goes. Shaw's Yusa, he's starting his fastest lap at the moment. Anyone else going really faster in those sectors? No, not really, as it stands at the moment. Pavel Makonin currently 3rd fastest on 3/10 of a second behind Jean-Petre, 1:2:31.878. Not the fastest lap in terms of practice. In practice we saw 2:31.231, so there is still time to be had. Jean-Petre 9/10 of a second faster in sector 1, 41.573. Anyone else in the 41s? Yeah, there are, but nobody's in the 41.6s. Jean-Petre's just going faster. He's just absolutely turned it up to 11 for the final race. But the problem is he's going to have maximum ballast on board that car for races 2 and 3. That will be 50 kilograms on board. That is a huge detriment here. A huge detriment here. Roy Plummer is improving. He's gone 7/10 up. Don't forget he's leading the CA3 category at the moment. He's down currently in 9th position. Another personal best for Lee Horn, a 42.453, but he's not quick enough. Fastest man on the road is Jean-Petre. Second sector, his best in sector 2 was a 1:11.323. Total time in that sector was a 1:11.323, and that's the best and the fastest. So at the moment, Jean-Petre is purple in all sectors. Anastasios is in fastest in sector 1, a 41.663. Fastest in sector 2 now goes to Pavel Makonin on a 1:11.118. Right, where is Pavel Makonin? There he is, championship leader, currently leading. He's fastest, he's level pegged on fastest time so far. So he's currently on schedule to do a 2:31.871 at this speed. But he's got Stu Neal just ahead of him, giving him an absolutely lovely tow. Anastasios is fastest in sector 1. Pascal Jean-Petre obviously will go faster, but we are keeping an eye on Pavel Makonin. Nope. So he's going to get 1, maybe 2 more runs out of this. Jeff Perkis is improving. He's in the little Alfa Romeo race winner. Do not forget this season out, Sector 2, 1.7 up. If he can improve, he's gone green and green. He will get himself into top 5, top 8. Only good enough for top 8. He lost a lot of time. Anastasios currently in 6th, was holding the record in Sector 1, but that goes to Jean Petra. Fastest in Sector 1. He's the fastest now in... He's now gone into the 41.4s. So Jean Petra has just turned the wick up again. Stuning is currently faster. Shaw's goes into 6th. Craig Deek currently in his highest position so far this season in 7th, but we are missing over half of the drivers not setting on the board. Where is Michael Clough? 2.3 seconds. He's just nowhere near. He's nowhere near at the moment. Russ Butcher just goes a little bit faster. I can't even see Butcher on the board. There is Butcher, currently 4th fastest. That would be his highest qualifying position this season out with 5 minutes to go. He's done a 41.845. He's green in Sector 1, so he's currently last lap out. He did a personal best. I think he's had to restart the lap. No, he's in Sector 2. No, he's abandoned Sector 2. He's abandoned Sector 2. Jean Petra is 1/10 of a second up. He's done a 41.429 in that sector. Yeah, there's nobody in the same league as him. Martin Kirby is in 12th, which would be an absolutely solid result for Kirby. Clough's down in 14th and not even on the board. Benny Norton hasn't even set a time yet. There's a lot of drivers going for a hot lap here. Kirby's abandoned the lap. Jean Petra's just about to blow the record. He's going to go into the 2:31 points. At this pace, he'll be a 2:31.3. He's absolutely, he's nearly a 10th faster in Sector 2, and he's 3/10 faster in Sector 3 as well. He's in a different league. 2:31. I don't think anyone's going to beat him. I think at the moment Jean Petra is in a league of his own. Roy Plummer down in 13th at the moment, 2 seconds off position, but this would be an improvement to his lap time. If he can get this further, he could pop himself into top 10. Currently waiting for the other drivers to finish. He gets 2.6 seconds, only good enough for 13th because Lee Horn has gone into 6th and Perkis has gone into 11th. Derek Neal is currently in 16th. His son is currently 2nd fastest, but 6/10 of a second away from pole position. But where is the nearest championship rival? That's who we're interested in. So Pavel Makonin is back out on track as it stands at the moment. There is Michael Clough, 1 second. That'll put him into top 4. And I think he's going to struggle. Anastasios goes into 4th position at the moment. That is the highest place. Honda, as it would stand, we're watching Michael Clough currently in 15th. I think he's going to get himself top 5. Top 5 with that speed. Why is he hitting the brakes? See, the problem is I think he's playing the wrong game here because we're watching Derek Neal go round. So Michael Clough is basically trying to put himself into top 8. So he's trying to put himself into top 8 so he loses all the ballast for races 2 and 3. But in the qualifying session, he was good enough to get himself into top 4. So I think he's doing the wrong strategy here, to be honest. So if he does that, top 10 would mean that he would have no ballast for races 2 and 3. But the problem with doing that is that, as we've seen in the past, he has to then come through the field. And you've got the likes of Lee Horn, Fraser Rostamps, Butcher, Anastasios now, who aren't going to let him through. So it's a risky strategy to play. There's Pavel Makonin. He's going to get himself into 2nd position. It's a very, very risky game to play. He needs to do the Alex Everett trick and get himself into top 7, realistically, except that he's going to be running ballast and run for that. Otherwise, he's going to have to do all the work in races 2 and 3. I just think it's a risky strategy. It's a risky strategy. Fraser Rostance improves into second position as it stands at the moment. Butcher is going a little bit faster as well. If he can maintain this pace, he will get himself into 4th position. But Fraser Rostance has put him into second. Where is Alex Everett? He's down on the bottom of the board. He hasn't even put a time on the board yet. So he gets himself into 6th position as it stands at the moment. There is Bill Campion. For years I thought his name was Bill Champion because he was the people's champion. But there's Bill Campion down in 17th position. He's in the CA3 category as it stands at the moment. He's into 18th because we've had someone go on the board. I don't know who. Roy Plummer. No, Alex Ward has now come onto the party. He's into 15th. Rob South is in 20th, and Bill Campion is down in 19th position. As it stands on the board at the moment, anybody going faster? Stu Neal is going faster. Stu Neal, he was going faster, but he hasn't set it. There's nobody else out. So this, I think, is going to be, unless Butcher or Benny Norton can do anything. Where's Benny Norton? He's in 8th position. So unless Benny Norton can do anything from here, I don't think there's going to be anything exciting. Jamie Higgs is down in 20th. He's now on the ball. Alex Ward is in 15th. Watch out for Alex Ward. Race 3 specialist for him. So he needs a good result in races in race 2. And then I would put my money on that Alex Ward would be another race winner. There's nobody going faster as it stands at the moment. So there is your provisional race results. Provisional qualifying results. Jean Petra is in first, followed by Rostance. That's a cracking result from Rostance. I've been following him on his YouTube channel. He has been going faster. Neil, McConin, Anastasius, Butcher, Lee, Norton, Shawes, Deeks, Clough. Clough is playing a risky game here. He's faster than that by at least a second. Perkis, Flack, Bokey, Ward, Plummer, Kirby, Neil, Campion, Higgs, and South. And we do have other drivers on the board at the moment, all the way to 27th, but we had no time set by a number of the drivers. So, yeah. I don't know. It's a risky one for me. I think the strategy that he's playing for Clough, I think is very, very dangerous, personally. I think it's a very risky strategy what he's doing. Again, I can see a lot of you in the comment section, but nobody typing. Please put your predictions in. Let us know what you think. Come and say hi. It's a friendly bunch. Don't forget to find us on Discord. We are on Discord. You can find us on the internet under crestautosport.com. Just put us in the Google and you will find us. So strategies all to play for here. Pavel Makonnen is back out again. Again, he's running around with 45 kilograms on board. Clough's got 50 kilograms on board that car. It's a risky strategy. So I think the battle, I think Jean Petra has got this. I think he's going to check himself out at the front. I think there's going to be a battle between Rostance and Neil, realistically. Pavel Makonnen just needs to get the points. He's after the points game. Anastasios and Butcher are the unknown. Lee Horn is the unknown as well. But I think the strategy that Clough is playing by putting himself in 11th to shave off the ballast for races 2 and 3, I think is the wrong strategy. I think it's really the wrong strategy, because statistically speaking, Pavel Makonnen has always finished top 6. If you look at his average finishes, always top 6. And Clough has had a couple of bad races where he's had to come through that field. So it's a tough one for me. If Pavel Makonnen can get a good result in race 2 and Clough can finish behind Pavel Makonnen, my money is on Michael Clough to take the championship. If Pavel Makonnen can finish 2 positions ahead, my money is on Pavel Makonnen. He's only 27 points behind. It's all to play for. Alex Ward just needs to finish and not get any silly penalties, to be perfectly honest, and he's got the CA2 category nailed. and CA3 Saint from Lloyd Plummer. So I think it's going to be very good. Hello, nice to see you. I'm not going to pronounce your name. You might be able to tell me what your name is. I'm not going to pronounce that because I will probably butcher it, which is not what I want to do. I make enough mistakes as it is. So hi, welcome to the stream. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I think that's what they say. Like and subscribe. You are currently watching us. We are at the World Touring Car Challenge. This is at Spa. This is going to be race 1 in 2 minutes. We are at the full circuit. There it is. 10 left, 10 right. £4.27 for the RaceRoom cost, but as I always say, wait for RaceRoom for the Black Friday deals. That's the best way to buy this game. It's quite expensive to buy it one by one. So that's how I would buy the game, but hey, that's just me. So we're just watching John Petra going around. He was the fastest person in qualifying. He was faster than anybody else by, I think it was 5/10 of a second. Basically, near as enough makes no difference. He was just fast. So it's going to be interesting to see how he stacks that up in the race, because as always, in order to finish first you have to finish. So it'll be interesting to see how that stacks up. I'm pretty sure I am pretty confident he's going to be race 1 victory, but it's all to play for here. All to play for in races 2 and 3. The 2 big drivers we're watching are Jean Petra and Michael Clough. Jean Petra has put himself, Pavel Makonin. Pavel Makonin has put himself into the primetime spot. And I think Michael Clough has just taken a risky game here. I think by qualifying in 11th, he's taking all the risk. And Pavel Makonin is just doing what he does. He does best. He just goes, I'll put the car as fast as I can go. He's an esports driver. He's got that talent in the bag. Michael Clough is having to outsmart him by using tactics, which they're entitled to do. So you've got 2 completely different ways of trying to tackle this race. So it's going to be exciting. Slider UK, nice to see you back again. Oh, Anastasios, that's nice to see you, Anastasios, on stream. If you're wondering, Anastasios, highest qualifying position so far this season, highest position Honda as well. Anastasios, good luck for race 1. I have got high hopes that you will get your top 5 finish this time out, which will be really, really good. Just keep it consistent, keep it on the tarmac, as I always say. So we have a minute left. The drivers are all going to get themselves warmed up, ready to go. It's going to be exciting. Race win prediction is going to be Jean Petra. He's going to be in a race of his own. He's unballasted. He's faster than anybody else at the moment by nearly 5/10 of a second. Will he give up the position? Is he going to play a tactical game? His biggest problem is going to be going up Eau Rouge. So after the hairpin, which is turn 1, turns 2 and 3, and then over that Eau Rouge, that's what's going to be the biggest problem for him, because he's going to have mighty toe. He's on the outside. There he is in the 88. Fraser Rostance is on the left. So it's all to play for here. Grieger, nice to see you on stream. Good luck to everyone. Yes, and here we go. Hold on to your houses. It's going to get absolutely tasty. It's 15 minutes of race 1 to go. Who is going to be the champion of this race? Is Michael Clough going to do what he needs to do? And it's lights out, and Anastasios has had a penalty already. I cannot believe it. And Stu Neal has had a cracking start. Fraser Rostance has gone back. He's lost second position. Stu Neal has absolutely launched the car as he stands at the moment. He's into 3rd position. Pavel Makonin, there he is tucking in the background. Has everybody got through? Yes, they have. There is Jules User in 7th position. He has got Lee Horn right behind him as they all pile up into Eau Rouge, riding from Benny Norton. You can see Craig Deeks running wide there. Has he got himself back on the track? Oh, just enough. Joins it just next to Anastasios, holds it side by side. There's the 34. Michael Clough is into 9th position. Stu Neal is side by side with Fraser Rostance. Fraser Rostance on the number 7. Pavel Makonin has got the overdrive, but has Fraser Rostance got damage? Has he got damage? Has camped the wheels. No, he hasn't. They're pointing all in the right direction. That was very lucky. They all get through. Boki is side by side with Perkis. There's Boki, number 12, right behind that. You have got Anastasios and Alex Ward, and you can see there the plumber trying to go up the inside of the 55 has Alex Everett. He's making progress now. Alex Everett doing the wise thing, staying at the back, picking his way through. Alex Ward, oh, there's contact between the two. I've hit the replay buffer. We'll have a look at that post-race, but look at Roy Plummer. Oh, you can't because he's miles down the track. There he is, number 8, side by side with Derek Neal. They're 2x2 through the left-hander. Oh, a little bit of a sim twitch there, but he's on the move. Derek Neal is absolutely trying to do all he can to hold on to that position. There's Alex Everett carving his way through the pack. He's next with Craig Deek in that 17. Oh, there's contact. Anastasios has gone off in the background. I cannot believe it. He's really lost the back end at the moment, but there's Craig Deek in 15th position, riding on board with him now. He is fighting the man ahead. That man ahead is Alex Everett, and protecting behind Paul Hans. This is the battle for the CA3 Championship. Paul Hans, slow down penalty, riding on board now from the rear camera. You can see there is Bill Campion, Portugal Rodriguez as well, fighting it out with Rob South. Rob South is the Hyundai, that number 5, but there is Portugal Rodriguez holding on to that position. It's all stationary at the top at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. Oh, he's run wide. He's run wide. Portugal's run wide. That's Bill Campion's run wide as well. They've all held on to it, and there goes through. Oh, there's contact between everybody. I cannot believe it. They're all forgetting that there's a corner there. But this could play into the hands of Anas. He's got to do his drive-through penalty. But there's Carl Smith as they go side by side. Carl Smith, Danger Squad Racing. Where is Carl Smith? He's down there. He's in that 55. He's side by side there with Portugal Rodriguez. There is Carl Smith. There's Tim Johnson as well. Oh, they're 2x2 trying to hold on, see what they can do. There's Jamie Higgs right at the back of the field in that number 18. He's absolutely turning the charm on there. Right, Benny Norton and Russ Butcher are fighting. This is the battle for 6th and 5th position. There's Butcher. We're riding on board now with Butcher, and there is Benny Norton. He's so close, but look at Shaw's User. He's trying to sail it up the inside, trying to do the old Dummeroory there, but he cannot do it. Through the right-hander, through the left-hander we go, riding on board now with Michael Clough. He's up to 8th position. Don't forget races 2 and 3. He's got to clear these fast. He needs to get towards Pavel Makonin. As you see, Shaw's User now passing Russ Butcher up the inside there. Nice and tidy, no heroics. And there are the two. There is the Honda of Lee Horn in the background. Butcher's trying to come back in that Honda, but he's not managed to do it. Riding on board now with our man here, Russ Butcher. He's tacking the man ahead. That's Shaw's User, 6th position. Don't forget, behind that 8th position, that is Michael Clough. Michael Clough needs to clear this fast. It's a 10-minute 53 remaining of this race. He has to get this done. There's Pavel Makonin. So Russ Butcher at the moment is the cork in this bottle. Paul Hans is fighting the back of Derek Neal. This is the battle for 17th and 18th. Well, I say the battle is side by side. Paul Hans in that bright... Oh, there's contact. There's contact between those two. But it's all reset all over again. I think that was Derek Neal. I'm pretty sure that was Derek Neal's responsibility, and he checked himself out. Right, Alex Everett is making progress. He's in 13th. He's unballasted at the moment. And he's trying to make progress through the field. So he's quite cleverly just stayed unballasted and is just getting the job done, carving his way through the field. There he is in 13th position. He's absolutely giving Boki the old switcheroos. You can see it, he's applying the pressure as we go through the right-hander into the hairpin. Is he going to sail it up the inside? Oh, a little bit of a sim twitch there from Boki. Down the gearbox he goes into second. Nice and done, and I don't think Boki's going to get the switch back here. I just don't think he's got enough, but there is Alex Ward riding on board with him now. He's in 14th position. Just ahead of that, Jean Petre has just gone fastest again, a 2:31. He's really applying the pressure, but has Alex Ward managed to get past? No, he hasn't. Michael Clough needs to get this done. He needs to clear Butcher now. If he wants this done, he has to clear Butcher, because Lee Horn is all over the rear end there. And that's his problem. This is what I was saying. He was too busy thinking about losing his points and trying to shave off the ballast. But Pavel Makonin is just too far ahead with 9 minutes 11 seconds going. Lee Horn had to get out the throttle there, and that's just compromised his speed. There's 34 of Podiflak behind Lee Horn, and you can see there Jeff Perkis has got Alex Everett all over his rear end. Perkis is in the 55. The other 55, not the white Alfa Romeo, not the front one, that is Alex Everett, and Alex Everett is just making progress. He's absolutely doing all he needs to do. Pavel Makonin at the moment is being held up by Stu Neal. There is Jean Petra at the front. So Alex Everett is side by side with Perkis as they go through the hairpin. There should be a job done, really. There should be no, but he hasn't let it go. He hasn't let it go. Is there contact? No, Perkis has left just enough room. A little bit of a cheeky touch, but nothing too untoward. Right, where is Clough? Clough has to clear Butcher. Clough is the 33. He's the black car in the middle of this field. There you can see the 55. That is Benny Norton. He's trying to attack Jules User. There is Butcher. There is Clough. So at the moment, Butcher his teammate Rob South is all the way further down the field. He's in 20th position. So Butcher is fighting for position here. There is Butcher, that number 30 Hyundai i30. And that's the problem as it stands at the moment. He's in 7th position, and he's under no obligation to let that man through there, the 33. So is this as far as he's going to get? Is this as far as Michael Clough is going to get? Because he needs to clear him now. It has to be within the next 2 minutes, because if he doesn't get it done, he's going to have no opportunity, and he's not going to go around there. He's just not going to get it into that hairpin. He needs to set him up into this right-hander, nice and tidy, then go for the old switcheroos. He's alongside. This is what he needs to do. They need to not run out of the room. They're side by side. Has Cloughy done it? Has he done it in this corner? This is what he needs to do. 7 minutes 15. He just doesn't have the drive. That's the problem. It's the ballast. He's going for it. He's just gone up the inside. Has he got the car stopped? Has he got it rotated? He's got it stopped. Now they're going to go 3 wide up Eau Rouge. That's the problem. Lee Horn is side by side. He cannot afford to lose this position. He cannot afford he's lost the position. He cannot afford to. He's just kept it stuck in. He's lost it again. This was the problem. Pavel Makonin is at the moment, he's on for reclaiming that championship point. This is the problem Michael Clough had. This could be his downfall. He's lost another position. Now the only saving grace is Scott Podiflak right behind him, and Poddy won't attack him in the last 6 minutes 25 seconds to go. But Michael Clough now just he's either going to be a hero or a zero by the end of this, because he is 7 positions behind Pavel Makonin. And Pavel Makonin is just on it, and there are the leaders. They're not that far ahead. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds, but there is a battle between Roy Plummer and Craig Deek slowly developing. But Pavel Makonin is right on the rear end of Stu Neal. Stu Neal now has to hold this position. He has to hold this position. There's Fraser Rostance. There's Jules User. And that's the problem. Lee Horn now is on the back of Butcher, so the only saving grace, unfortunately, is if Lee Horn and Butcher make a mistake and slowly bosh each other out. There is Boki. He's on the back of Perkis. So Perkis is in the 55, riding from the rear camera now of Jeff Perkis. There is Boki. He's in the 25. Equal machinery between these two, trying to fight it out, trying to be the one who will be victorious. There is Alex Ward. Right, Russ Butcher has been passed now by Lee Horn. But Clough is going to try and follow Lee Horn through as best as he can. That's what he needs to do. Oh, there's contact between the two drivers. One of them is going to have to back out going through here, and it was Butcher. Butcher went, I want no piece of this. That was very, very clever manoeuvring there from Butcher, thinking a lot better of his position. Alex Ward is going to attempt to go up the side of Boki as well. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. And it's reset all over again. Right, there is Michael Clough. He's back into 8th position. What he needs now is that man there Benny Norton to lose the position because Pavel Makonin is side by side with Stu Neal. But the benefit that Stu Neal has is that he's got a much better drive coming out that corner because of the ballast, but he's going to get an absolutely horrendous, he's going to give a horrendous toe to Pavel Makonin. Stu Neal just needs to go defensive. He needs to do no other heroics. He just needs to stick defensive if he wants to hold that position. That's the problem. Nice, thanks Heli Cameron. Nice to be on point there. Pavel Makonin is trying to go up the inside. Pavel is doing all he can. He hasn't got damage. That's just the game being funny. Going through the right-hander here. The TV camera, back to the TV camera. And that's the problem he's got. So the battle is all to play for here. Alex Everett is now on the back of Poddy Flack. Poddy Flack is in 10th position. So Alex Everett can get this. It's basically he should win race 2. There is Clough. Clough's trying to go up the side of Lee Horn. Lee is in the Honda. He's in that 63 Honda front of your screen. And Clough is trying to go up the inside, but he can't afford a no points finish. That's his problem. He can't afford to have nil points. Lee Horn thinking better of it there. He's going to try and slot in and stop Butchard making the attack. That's a very clever move there. He's closed that door solidly shut. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go with a 2:31 lap. It's all to be played for. Jeff Perkis is trying to attack the back of Bokey, so it's all to play for. There is Alex Ward. He's in the number 7308, and he's on the back. So Michael Clough has now broken away from Lee Horn by 0.3 of a second. He needs Benny Norton to give him that position, and Jules Yusa, those two have to give up that position for the team game. We'll keep an eye on that as it unfolds. Pavel Makonin is holding on to the back of Stu Neal, but at the moment Alex Ward riding on board with him in the Peugeot. He's going up the side of Jeff Perkis into this fast left-hander. You won't go 2x2 into here. Perkis shuts the door closed. They are all over each other like a bad rash on a baboon. Absolutely sensational stuff. 2 minutes, there is one more lap to go. Pavel Makonin, we are keeping an eye on the board for that. Benny Norton needs to give that position up if he wants to maximise it, but it's all to play for. Perkis is trying to go up the inside of Bokey. He's trying to do what Michael Clough did a lap before, and that's going to be vital. Can he do it? Benny Norton is 2 seconds ahead. But there is Perkis, left side, number 55. Alfa Romeo into the hairpin. Can he do it? But Pavel Makonin, he was close, but not enough. This is where the only chance Pavel Makonin really has to take it to Stu Neal. Benny Norton keeping an eye on that as that unfolds. Alex Everett will be position 1 for race 2. Pavel Makonin, he doesn't need a non-finish. He doesn't need a penalty. He doesn't need to do anything. He just needs to try and get past this man. He's gone into the late break. Has he gone round? Absolutely sensational there from Pavel Makonin. But no, Stu Neal has not let it go. These two are side by side. Stu Neal is holding all he can. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Can he do it here? Pavel is going to give him the old love tap, saying, hey, I'm coming in here. They're swapping positions again, but Stu Neal will have, crucially, the inside into this corner. Pavel Makonin is using up all of his championship points, incident points here. I don't think he's going to do it. I think Stu Neal is going to save that position. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and it's still on. This is so vital for the championship. There is Jules Yusa. He's on the back of Fraser Rostans. Benny Norton needs to give that position up, but we're watching this. Jean Petra has checked himself out at the front. He's dropped his hotel room key and he's off to the buffet. He's 3.3 seconds ahead at the front, but this is the battle we're watching. We've also got Perkis and Bokey in 12th, 13th and 14th. That's unfolding. Fraser Rostans is unfolding. Oh, he's run wide. Stu Neal's run wide. Slow down penalty. This is going to be vital. Where can he shave that penalty off? He's got less than half a lap. If he doesn't get rid of the penalty soon, that will hand Pavel Makonin second position, which is not good for Michael Clough. He needs Benny Norton. He needs Benny Norton to give him that position. Butcher is back on side by side with Lee Horn as we go through into the final stages. Can Butcher retain that position? No, he can't. Yes, he can. Job done. But we are watching Pavel Makonin. Oh, they're just holding on to it. Has he managed to get the position done? Has he managed to hold on to it? There is Jean Petra, your race winner. There is Stu Neal. Has he taken second? Has he taken second? He's taken second, holds off Pavel Makonin. Shaw's User is third, Fraser Rostans. Benny Norton gives the position to Michael Clough. He needed to. He needs to do that. Michael Clough has taken a risk here. He's taken a huge risk. Butcher followed by Alex Everett, who will start 9th. Lee Horn is going to start pole position for race 2. Lee Horn, I'd put my money on. Lee Horn in that car, I'd put my money on. Poddy, followed by Boki, Alex Ward. Perkis was the big loser of that battle, followed by Craig Steeks, Roy Plummer, Paul Hans, Derek Neal, Portugal, Kirby, Anastasius, Rob South, Lopez, Campion, Johnson, Jamie Higgs brings the car home in 18th. Fantastic result for 26th. And Carl Smith. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from all of the drivers. Absolutely sensational. We're just going to save this because I want to know. So Jean Petra was fastest lap, and Jean Petra was your race winner. Absolutely sensational. That was always, I think that was always going to be the case. I don't think that was ever not going to be the case. He's been fastest than anybody for the rest of the race. Stu Neal, absolutely sensational there from Stu Neal. He's done a stellar job. Jamie Higgs down in 26th, and Carl Smith as well. Brilliant racing from them because don't forget, you know, these guys, it takes all the CA1 and CA2 and CA3 categories to race. And, I mean, they still do a better job than me, is that they haven't been lapped. And I always get lapped. Hence why I don't race anymore. Absolutely brilliant stuff. That was sensational. It's all to play for. It's all to play for. The problem is, well, not the problem. It's going to be, has Michael Clough done a blinder here? Has he actually managed to sort it out? I don't know. I think the risk, the reward and risk is, yeah, it's a bit too high, I think. Yeah, well done to Stu Neal. He did an absolutely stellar job there for what he needed to do. I'm trying to bring up the replays, see if we've got anything. It was very uneventful actually for Touring Car, but I think that's because they're all basically trying not to get any points, to be perfectly honest. Drive-through penalty and the start of the grid, yeah, absolutely gutted for you. Absolutely gutted for you. Yeah. To be honest, that was gutting. We saw it. I can't believe it. Right, we're going to have a quick look at the replay analysis. So if you're new to the stream, hello and welcome. We do have the ability to look at some replay analysis. As always, we've only got one camera angle, and that's from the live stream. So that means we can only ever look at what we're seeing. So I've got a couple on here. There was nothing, I don't think there was anything really that bad, to be perfectly honest. It was very sedate, to be honest. What was this? Yeah, there was nothing really in this, was there? I was a little bit of, yeah, so it's a very tough one. So, yeah, I mean, arguably here, so car 7, which is Alex Ward, arguably he should have been left a bit more room. It's the final race of the season. Will there be anything from that? Oh, I don't know. The problem is that when we actually look at this, so this is Anastasius. Again, it's a bit, it's the opening lap of the race. I don't think there's anything in it really for me. I mean, he's going to go down here and he just brakes later, basically. So if we slow that down, yeah, and then he tabs the corner. It's a tough one. It comes to braking zones, but if we wind it back, I don't think the car. Yeah, The problem is that Alex hasn't really. I don't think he's hit the brakes soon enough, and that's why he rolls in. And Anastasios at that point is committed. So, do I think there's anything in that? Probably not. To be honest, I don't think there will be anything in that one. I think that was just a bit of a nothing event. I think this is the climb up the hill. So this is the climb. This is Pavel Makonin. Final lap. So he's got an absolutely lovely toe here. And you can see it when he closes and closes and closes the gap. So he gets closer and closer. And what he does, which is absolutely sensational, is Stu Neal has to take this line. He's got no other option but to take that line because he has to go defensive. There is no other option. He has to go defensive. He has to go through. He has to take that line. Now, what Pavel Makonin does, and we saw this the 2 laps before, he's been setting Stu up. So Stu is a bit stuck, really. He can't go over here to go for the optimal optimal in, because if he does, he's not going anywhere. And he can't go in the middle because Pavel Makonin will go wherever he wants. So as he drives on, Pavel then dives out just at the rear, and then he basically just gets the overspeed. And so by the time they get to the corner, he's not, and this is crucial, so if there was an incident between the two, Pavel Makonin would have to have braked, because they are effectively on this, they're about side by side on this camera angle. But what you notice is that Pavel Makonin just has that little bit more confidence in the car, and there. So he brakes marginally later, and by this point, he's nearly half a car width ahead. That gives him the confidence. He leaves him just enough room. So he's given Stu Neal 1 car's width, which is the ruling room. And he's now going to go round the outside. But, and this, I wish I had the whole thing, but what the beauty is, Stu Neal gets a much better line. And this is the quality of the racing. Pavel Makonin jumps the curb here, which means he takes a tighter line through here, because he knows that Stu Neal is still on the outside. And he can't afford a penalty. That's the problem. Because if he suddenly comes across, he's going to tab the front of Stu Neal. That's it. He's out. His race is done. Which means race 2, he's at the back of the grid. He loses a whole heap of championship points. Stu Neal could have braked at that point, but again, you'd have to. That would be for the steward. So Stu Neal just keeps. And at this point, Pavel Makonin, right at the end, is actually. Where are we? Here is actually now ahead. He's actually ahead. But the bit that we saw on stream is that Pavel still has to go onto this line. Stu Neal goes down here and he just gets a much better drive because he's got less ballast on board and ticks the box. Great racing from both of them. Both of them deserved that position. Both of them deserved to finish in second position there. But on this day in history, it was Stu Neal. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant stuff from both of them, I would say. So that was fantastic. And again, Pavel Makonin had been setting this move up for a while. So this is Michael Clough, and this is Pavel Makonin. So Pavel gets a much better drive out of the first hairpin. But Stu Neal, because he's unballasted, by the time they get halfway down the straight, down the back straight, which used to be the start-finish straight, by this point, he's already ahead. Now, there was a little touch here, but I don't know if it's a touch because it looks like that on stream, or they did touch. Pavel sees him coming, goes over here. Stu Neal goes over there. And by the time they get to Eau Rouge, just before Eau Rouge, he's ahead. So Pavel's got his work to do now. He's got less ballast on board because he qualified third, not second. So he's running around with 40 kilograms on board. So, yeah, he's got a lot less on board the car, but it's going to be tough, I think, for him. It's going to be tough. Especially now that Michael Clough was handed the position from Benny Norton. That needed to happen. Without that, I don't think Michael Clough would be in a position to really fight for the championship. So, even though he's leading it, Pavel Makonin is still to beat. The odds-on favourite is still Pavel Makonin. So it's going to be really tough, I think. So we're going to go into race 2. If you're just joining us, this is the World Touring Car Challenge. It is the final round from Spa, the full-blooded Spa race circuit. There's the cars you could basically we drive. They're all the little hatchbacks this season. It was a little change because before people were driving the saloons or whatever, and basically they changed, which is really good. And it's the Spa circuit. It is 4.3 miles long, 7 kilometres. 10 right, 10 left, and it's £4.27. So we can add another new winner to that list, which will be Jean-Pascal Jean-Petre. In terms of my race 2 winner, so race 2 is a reverse of the top 10 of race 1, which means that your pole sitter is going to be Lee Horn, followed by Alex Everett, followed by Butcher, Norton, Clough, Rostance, Usa, McConin, Neil and Jean-Petre. Jean-Petre will have 50 kilograms on board, so I think at best he's going to get into top 5. Michael Clough, you'll be on the inside to turn 1. The thing is, he's got... So Lee Horn and Alex Everett we're not really interested in. They will check themselves out at the front. Butcher and Norton. So the goal now is Clough needs to finish ahead of McConin. That's what he needs to do. That's it. In simple mathematical terms, he needs to finish ahead of McConin. The problem will be race 3, because in race 3 the top 15 are reversed, and the problem is that Cloughy in races 2 and 3 statistically doesn't finish one of those at least on at least 25%. So there is a high risk that Cloughy could not get any points, and if he doesn't finish race 2 or 3, he could lose the championship. He can't afford to get any penalties. Neither of them can afford to get any penalties as it stands at the moment. So, yeah, it's a tricky situation to be in. So, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to pan out. I've seen a couple of questions come through on my other channel in terms of, do we think we're going to get these people in? I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. It's all to play for. The problem is that it's Cloughy's to lose now, because that's going to be the big problem. Butcher was saying that he wasn't in the lobby. No, he is in. I can see him. Well, hopefully he's in. So Cloughy is now going out. So Michael Clough is now going out to basically test how fast he can go. So he can do 2:31.429s. It's all going to come down to what Everett can do now as well. So for Clough, realistically, he just needs to finish 2 to 3 places ahead of McConin. Because if McConin goes all the way down to, say, 14th, you'll get a haul of points in race 3. And that's the problem, is that Cloughy's played a very dangerous game here for race 3, and that's statistically the highest race for incidents. Now, the other benefit here, this is a classical track, so it's wide, plus we've got 27 drivers in as well, which means that you only really have to go through about 3 or 4 drivers that could be a bit CA2 risky, but you've also got guys at the front who know how to win races. So if Alex Ward can get himself into top 15, he could win race 3. He's done it in the past. He can do it again. You've got Lee Horn, who's going to start at the top of race 2. Now, Lee Horn isn't... Yeah, he's fighting Benny Norton, but Everett's in second. But those two, they're basically just going out to run around on their own. Will they take points away where they can? Yes, but Cloughy doesn't need that from Pavel. Pavel needs to now finish ahead of Michael Clough. He has to get through, but he can't afford a penalty. He can't afford a DNF. So that's all to play for. Alex Ward in CA2 category, it's his to lose. He's racing Craig Deek. Craig Deek had a bad race, so it's all going to be to play for. How it stacks up, we will find out in the next 16 minutes, and then we will go into the final race of the season. This is the penultimate race, race 2, 15 minutes long. Top 10 reversal from the finishing positions of race 1. That will put Lee Horn and Alex Everett on first and second. Alex Everett is in the prime time position because he will be on the inside into turn 1. That's where Michael Clough wants to be as well. That's where he is. He just needs to get through the opening lap. No silly business. No damage. He can't afford it. Pavel McConin, he is the chaser. He is the wolf amongst the sheep. He just needs to go get them. That's all he has to do. He just has to drive what he's been doing all season. Drive as fast as he can. Get through the field. Tick that box. Get it done. Here we go. Hold on to your horses. It is all to play for. Are they going to all get off? Is there going to be a massive accident into turn 1? Is there going to be a crash? Is they're going to lead it? And it's lights out and away we go. And straight away, Alex Everett has had a fantastic start into turn 1. The question is, has he managed to get through? Has he managed to hold on to that position? I don't think he has. How they're all through at the front. How they're holding on. No heroics. Pavel McConin has absolutely launched himself up into that position. He's up into 6th position. He can do no better at the moment. Michael Clough has gone up to 5th. Jules User is in 7th. Behind that, you've got 2x2 between Fraser Rostance and Bodyflag. They weren't looking to do any heroics. Alex Ward, watch out for him, into 12th position. Championship, but Russ Butcher is 3 wide into turn 1. You've got Everett, Butcher and Horn all going into the hairpin. And on the left side, you've got Norton and Clough also following them through. This is going to be a colossal accident. Butcher takes the lead. There's the incident. There's the accident. Do they all get through? Just enough. That's the problem. Michael Clough has loft out to Pavel McConin. Pavel McConin's on the left. Michael Clough's on the right. He has to get ahead of him. He needs to get ahead of him. He's let it go. He's let it go. But Butcher is currently leading in the opening lap. Alex Everett is trying to attack him for that position. He needs to not be very careful here. Benny Norton. There's Pavel McConin. There's Michael Clough. The two championship leaders at the moment are side by side, nose to tail, 2x2. There goes Clough. He's got up the inside, but Pavel McConin has not let him have that position. Pavel McConin, they're giving each other so much room. They're being so courteous to each other, but they have to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in the line. Pavel McConin now has the inside. Clough will now have the inside. There's still 2x2. Has Clough got it done? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. They're still running side by side. This is the opening lap, and we've got a little bit of a sim twitch there, but they've sorted themselves out. They're trying to squeeze themselves in. A little bit of elbow room there. Michael Clough doesn't get a runoff penalty, but he's got Jules User right behind him. But Butcher is still leading. Is he going to lead a lap, a complete lap of this championship, of this season? He'll be absolutely fighting for that as much as possible. There he is in the 30. Behind that, you've got Lee Horn and Benny Norton. He will have the inside, crucially. They're going to be 3 wide into this turn. It's not going to work. Pavel McConin tries to go up the inside, sails it up, and they're all banging into each other going through there. There's Pavel McConin. There's Michael Clough as they're all trying to squabble through that corner. That's the problem they've got. Alex Everett, new fastest lap and new leader. The battle is on in the background. There's Jules User. He's thinking better of it. He's like, I don't want to end up in trouble. I do not want to end up hindering that race. Michael Clough is now ahead of Pavel McConin. There is Pavel McConin in the 55. But Michael Clough has Benny Norton, his rear gunner, right behind him. There he is, the 233 Renaults. Michael Clough has done enough. He just needs to not do anything silly now, because I get the feeling that Pavel McConin is going to get this done. Poddy Flack and Fraser Rostance and Jean Petre are all side by side. This is the battle for 10th position. Absolutely sensational stuff. And also Clough is in the inside there of Butcher. Does he get that done? Yes, he does. So Butcher nearly led a lap of the race, and Michael Clough is into third. There's Shaw's User. He's stuck behind Pavel Makonin. Pavel Makonin is in sixth position, absolutely doing all he needs to do. Pavel Makonin needed his rear gunners. He needed Toplev and Alec. He needed the other two, but it is what it is. Gabriel Lopez, this is the battle down in 20th and 21st. They're fighting each other. Paul Hans and Boki are going at it as well. Paul Hans, bright yellow DHL Audi, which is actually identifies as a Honda. It isn't an Audi, it is a Honda. 1, 2, 3, fourth car in the row, which is actually the third one, the number 9 Tom Coronel car. There he is, PPR Racing. He's on the back of Boki. Right, Benny Norton, Lee Horn, and Michael Clough is trying to go up the inside of Lee Horn. Lee is just not enjoying that car. Well, he is, because he's gone for the old switcheroos. There's Lee Horn. Ooh, very tasty between those two. In the background, you can see Benny Norton's trying to get past. So Michael Clough is now on the charge. He's going for the race victory. There's Alex Everett, 9/10 of a second out. Lee Horn is right on the rear end in that Honda. But where is Shaw's User? Where is Pavel Makonin? They're all stuck behind. Russ Butcher. There's Butcher riding on board with him now. He's in fifth. There's Pavel Makonin in the 55. Seat Cupra, he is trying to do what he can here. Lee Horn, slow down penalty. Michael Clough has closed the gap. Look at Pavel Makonin. He's going to go up the inside. Look how much confidence he has on the brakes. Oh, he's tried to go up the inside, and that's cost him another position. He's into 7th now. He can't afford it. Smith, Johnson and Anastasios, all DNFs in the background. But Pavel Makonin is going for it, and Michael Clough has closed the gap again. Pavel Makonin is going to attempt to go up the inside there of Russ Butcher, but Stu Neal, his old buddy from race 1, is all over the background. Can he do anything from here? Can Butcher do anything? Portugal and Paul Hans are side by side. Paul Hans left side out with that one, the 55, the Portugal Rodriguez. He's got that job done. Michael Clough, Pavel Makonin is now side by side with Butcher. You're just not going to go round there, Pavel. You're going to have to play the old switcheroos here. As you see, the battle for the lead is on. Michael Clough has got the jump on Alex Everett. He's got past him on raw pace here. So Michael Clough unballasted, Alex Everett unballasted, and he's absolutely going for it. At the moment, Pavel Makonin is just stuck behind Stu Neal and Russ Butcher, so he's lost another position again. And I think the problem is, as it stands at the moment, is that you've got all the teammates just causing basically blockages at the moment. And that's the problem Pavel Makonin has. He needs a teammate. He needs a teammate. There's Jeff Perkis. He's got Poddy Flack right behind him. There's Poddy Flack riding on board with him now. He's in 13th position. He's at the back of this entire stream. There's Butcher. That's 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th. 6th to 13th in one picture at the moment. Stu Neal is trying to get past Butcher. Now the 34 is Stu Neal, the 30 Hyundai is Butcher. And these two I've seen race in other leagues. There is no love lost between these two. You have to think Jason Plato, and the other guy that I completely forgot who drives the Honda, Neil, the Neil bloke. These two are exactly the same. There is no love lost between those two. There is Pavel Makonin. He can get this done. He's 7 minutes in to go. I think he can get himself up to at least 5th position. Benny Norton is now on the back of Lee Horn as well. There's Benny Norton. Lee Horn, he's found some recent form in the closing half of the races, and he's just having an absolutely sensational battle as Benny Norton just checks himself out. And there is Stu Neal, and there is Butcher. Butcher in that 30 is the cork in this bottle. He's the absolute huge cork in the bottle. There's your race leader, Michael Clough, at the lead. But you can see here, Fraser Rostance has now joined this, qualified himself in 2nd position. Pavel Makonin is going to attempt to go up the side of Stu Neal. This should be job done. What happened there? He had a right old sim twitch. We've got that on stream. We will have a look at that post race, but Pavel Makonin has gone all the way down into 13th position. What happened to Pavel Makonin? Right, Benny Norton is now side by side with Lee Horn. We'll look at that post-race. There's Benny Norton. He's got up. He's just got past Lee Horn. Lee Horn is finding form, but he's not finding enough form. Stu Neal is going to go side by side with Butcher. Stu Neal, 34. Butcher, 30. That's not their age. That's their car numbers. And look at Pascal Jean-Petre. He's like, I'm coming. I'm coming. He gives him a little bit of love tap. And there's Fraser Rostance with his teammate Alex Ward running 2x2 in 9th and 10th position. They'll be licking their chops going round here. There is Rostance going up the inside, who has found recent form in the second half of the season. Race winner, don't forget, handed the victory to his teammate out at Laguna Seca in race 3. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to win races. The question is, can he hold on to this? Because Butcher is now getting attacked by Jean-Petre, riding on board with Jean-Petre. He's in 8th position, don't forget. Behind him is Fraser Rostance in 9th. There he is, Rostance in 9th in the car number 7. Next Gen Racing, trying to do it for his Next Gen Racing team. Pavel Makonin is in 13th. We're going to have a look at that post-race, but he's on the back of this gaggle now. Right, Roy Plummer is attacking the battle of Portugal Rodriguez. This is the battle for 17th and 18th position. Michael Clough has clocked himself out at the front at 1.5 seconds. The problem is for race 3, that's really going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him for race 3. Really hurt him for race 3. So Pavel Makonin needs to get past these drivers fast as it stands at the moment. Roy Plummer, and we've had a disconnect. No, we haven't. There just seems to be a little bit of twitching going on in the sim world. I think Jamie Higgs has had a retirement. Yes, he has. Shame for Jamie Higgs. I've seen him race. He is a good racer, but he's just not quite finding his feet this weekend out. There's Roy Plummer. Can he do anything from here? No, he can't. Gabriel Lopez. This is the battle for 20th and 21st. Lopez in that 28. Bill Campion in the number 96. These two are fighting each other. Right. Jean-Petre is now right on the rear end of Russ Butcher, riding from that rear camera of Russ Butcher. He is in 7th position. Behind that is Jean-Petre and Rostance. This is 7th, 8th and 9th, and the rest of the field going up Eau Rouge. Holding onto your horse. Jean-Petre is gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. He's got the slipstream, he's moved out, but Butcher, because of the ballast, has just managed to get that extra bit of push that he needs. And that's the problem, is that Jean-Petre is going to have to commit to the braking manoeuvre. He's going to have to take a brave pill and slam the brakes on. Down the gearbox he goes. And then he's going to have to go side by side, 2x2. If he wants to get past Butcher, Butcher needs to give him enough room. There's still 2x2 through this section, of course. And you can see the two Peugeots in the background. You can see Fraser Rostance, Alex Ward, Perkis and Makonin are going at it as well. Has Pavel Makonin done it? Yes, he has. He's gone up the inside. Fraser Rostance, he's just mugged a lot of them. Fraser Rostance has said thank you very much, licks his chops, checks himself out, into 8th position he goes. Fantastic stuff. Jean-Petre started that whole incident. There's Pavel Makonin. He is stuck down in 13th position, but the saving grace he's got is he can do no more, really. He needs to try and get through the field as quickly as possible, but he's got poddy flak, and these two have had a coming together previously, so that's going to be problematic for him, I think, and he's really going to struggle there. Russ Butcher in 9th position. Don't forget, he was leading the race for half a lap in this season. I know he's going to be absolutely ecstatic about that. It's 2 minutes 50 seconds to go. It's 2 laps, including this one. And I think at the moment it's going to be holding stations. Benny Norton's on the back of Alex Everett. Alex Everett just hasn't found pace. He's really struggled in that second half of the race. So he was absolutely flying in the first half of the race, and then he hasn't found it. Right, Alex Ward is now on the back of Butcher. Alex Ward, there he is in the 7th, in the second Peugeot, or driver 2 of Peugeot, CA1 leader. Then you can see the 34 of Poddy Flak, and Pavel Makonin is just going to send it. He's going to get himself a ticket and he's going to send it. He's got no other options, to be honest. And he's lost another position. He's down to 13th. He's flashing his lights. We're going to hit that, see if we got that on stream, and see what came up there. He better not be flashing his lights. He's just flashing his lights. as it stands at the moment. Not sure. I think that might have been to Poddy. We will check to see how that goes. Lee Horn is on the back of this gaggle of cars. Alex Everett, I think Alex is trying to help Lee out here. I think that's why Alex has lost pace, because I know that Alex and Lee do know each other very, very well. So I think Alex Everett is purposely slowing down, to help Benny Norton. To slow Benny Norton down to help Lee Horn out. That's what's going on. But the problem is, he could send it up the inside, which is what Benny Norton has done. He sends it up the inside. They're going to go 2 by 2. Has that outset Benny Norton? Yes, it has. Lee Horn is going to have to slot in the background. He's going to try to go for the old switcheroos. I don't know if there was a little bit of sim twitching going on there. There is a little bit. Ooh, holds on to that just enough. And I think that's what's happening now with Alex Everett. He's holding on to it. Pavel McConan is on the side there with Poddy Flack. Pavel McConan's got himself back up to 12th position. Have we lost somebody? Yeah, Butcher. We lost Butcher. He's still racing, but he's down in 14th position at the moment. So he might be he's either not got enough points. Now, if he had any sense, he'd go all the way down to 15th. Alex Everett, they're playing a game. They've decided to play the game, so these three are playing the game on the final lap. It's a big game to play. It's a risky game to play here because it could hand points to Pavel McConan, who's in 11th position at the moment. So Pavel is down in 11th, but he's going to be in prime position for race 2. That's the key for race 3. As we watch the closing stages of this race, Benny Norton is in 3rd position. Alex Everett is in 2nd. There is Alex Everett, and he is, I believe, slowing down on purpose to help out Lee Horn to try and give him 2nd position. There's nothing wrong with that, because they've been doing it through the entire season, because Lee Horn is fighting Benny Norton for the championship, for 3rd place in the championship. So that is important. That's 100% what's happened. And that was absolute textbook maneuver there. Has it paid off? I don't think it has. Yes, it has. Has it paid off? It's going to be a mad dash for the line. Benny Norton is still going to be 2nd. So Benny Norton takes it. Oh, that was close. Absolute sensational racing there from the three of them. Absolutely beautiful tactical play. Jean Petra comes home there. Fraser Rostance, Alex Ward. McConan is in 11th. He could win race 3. Perkis is in 12th. Deeks is in 13th. Butcher is 14th. Real possibility for race 2, race 3 winner. Hans Boki Plummer, Portugal, Neil Campion, Lopez, Kirby, and South. Kirby will bring home the field. Rob South has checked himself into the stratosphere. And then we've got Higgs, Smith, Johansson, and Anastasios, who bring up the rest of the field. We will be going across to race 3 ever so shortly, so we're just going to hold on to that as it stands at the moment. Don't go anywhere for race 3. It's all to play for. How is my math? Not that great, if I'm honest. So, here we go. Can he win it? Yeah. I think he can. So, I need to go and check the rules. I don't think it's being done live. Let me just go into the rules. Let's have a quick look. I think the problem is it's penalties. That's the issue. It's going to be the penalties. Now, I don't think there is any penalties between any of them. I think that's it was door-to-door racing. So it's 50 points for first. So the difference between in that race was 25. So here we go. So the gap was 27. So 27 plus 25 is 52. So that was the difference. In race 1, he finished. McConan finished 3rd, which is 40 points. And, yeah, so it's 20. 32. I think the gap is 32 between the championship leader. There's no bonus points because fastest lap, neither of them got fastest lap. I will have to log back in because it tends to do this to me every so often. So, Pavel Makonin is going to start. He's going to be starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to be starting 5th. So it's 5th to 15th. So 36 to 21 is 50. Yeah. Okay. So if the race finishes as it starts, so if Pavel Makonin finishes 5th, which he won't, and Michael Clough finishes 15th, the points difference, I believe, would be about 15 in Clough's favour. If Pavel Makonin, I believe, will finish first, because he's got Perkis, Deeks, Butcher, Hans and Boki at Hans. So I believe Pavel's going to finish first. So he will have 50 points. The difference, I believe, is around... what did I say? The difference is around 30. 15. Put a margin in for error. Ooh. So if Makonin wins, I believe Clough has to finish top 8. Now somebody might be able to verify that for me. I don't have anyone at the moment who can, I don't have anybody messaging me to tell me any different, but the difference was 27 plus the difference was 25 for the next race, which is a balance of 52. The difference between the other race, I think, was 20 points. So the difference is 32. So 50 minus 32 is 18-point difference. 50 minus 18. Yeah, Slider, I'm doing the math. He needs 32. Yeah, he needs 8th. He needs 8th or 7th. But again, that is taking the proviso that Makonin will win. Now, statistically, you've got Perkis, race winner. Deeks, I don't think he's going to be in this. Butcher held everybody up. Paul Hans, I don't think will be there. So I think Makonin will go first. I think he will get that completed in the opening couple of laps. Clough has to get 8th by my math, failing any incidents or accidents. Now, I didn't see any of those within that race, so I don't think there's going to be anything really for Makonin or for Clough, to be honest. A little bit of door banging, but nothing that I think is untoward, really. I think it was all above board from what I saw. And like I said, when we said at the start of this, Clough starting in using the ballast to gain an advantage, it meant that he had to put everything in his favour. He had to do absolutely everything to get it done. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough, I think. I'm just asking now if we will get the championship results live or we'll have to wait. But by my poor commentator's mathematics, Clough needs 8th. And the problem is he's got some quick drivers above him. So he's got to get past Benny Norton. That's going to be a no-brainer, really. I think Benny's going to let him past, to be honest. Is Pavel Makonin in? No. Yes, he is. Good. It'll be a real shame if Pavel Makonin or Clough couldn't be in. Norton should let him past. Everett's not going to let him past. Lee Horn is not going to get him past. Shaw's and Neil and Jean Petre should let him past. Flack should let him past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's tough. This is tough. This is tough. He's given it all. This is Makonin's. Right now, before the start of the race, this is Pavel Makonin's. If he can get himself into first position, which statistically Pavel, I think, can do, which I think he can do that, it's Pavel's to win, basically, now. So if Pavel has to get first, and then Clough has to get in 8th. So as it stands at the moment, let's watch Pavel Makonin off the line. Watch the board. This is the final race of the Crest Autosport season for touring cars. And it's lights out and away we go. Pavel Makonin into 5th position. He's done it. He needs to get a good ride. This should be done. Where is Michael Clough? He's into 15th and he's holding 15th at the moment. There he is in the background. He's up into 14th. There's Alex Everett. Lee Horn, told you, Benny Norton's already let him past. Only 21 drivers. But where is Pavel Makonin? He's in 6th position. He's going to go past Podiflak. He has to go past Podiflak. He needs to get this done fast and quickly. Poddy's all over the road as it stands at the moment. There's Pavel Makonin. He's holding on to this. There's Jean-Petre Chausenil. They should let him through, but then he's going to have a real challenge. Pavel Makonin's gone up the inside. That's exactly a little bit of a touch between those two. Very naughty, but Pavel Makonin should get this done. This should be job done. There's contact in the background. There's massive accident in the background. Who's the big loser? All of that. Jean-Petre. They've all gone off. Who's the big loser? It's Michael Clough. Michael Clough. No, he's in 10th. He's in 10th. Who was the big loser? Jean-Petre outbraked himself and caused absolute carnage. And Michael Clough now is into 9th position. He's absolutely done all he needs to do there, but Michael Clough now is going to have to make the tactical passes. He's got to get past 3 very quick drivers. Pavel Makonin has cleared Podiflak and Perkis. He's up to 4th. He's doing it. Let's see how it goes. He's up for that. Yes, Slider. Let's see how this plays out. Michael Clough is into 10th. Gabriel Lopez is on the back, but Perkis is not going to let Makonin get away with that. There is Perkis. He's in the 55. He's going to push and push and push. Pavel Makonin has to get past Craig Deeks. Craig Deeks is in 3rd. This should be job done next lap. Really, he might even get it done on this lap. In the background, Alex Everett is passing Fraser Rostance. They're too busy fighting each other. Alex Everett now is going to get mugged by Michael Clough. Michael Clough in the 33, left-hand side, gets the job done. No, he doesn't. Everett is side by side. It's 2 by 2. Pavel Makonin is into 3rd. He's doing all he can do. Michael Clough is going to... Has he got the job done into 9th? Yes, he has. Stu Neal is trying to attack the back of Everett. So the next one for Michael Clough is Fraser Rostance in that number 7. He just needs no heroics, but Pavel Makonin has Perkis. And Podiflak's gone wide. Podiflak's gone wide. How far does he go? He's made contact. He's absolutely clouted the side of Craig Deeks. That's absolutely not what he wanted. And that's cost Michael Clough an absolutely haul of points here. That could be the pivotal moment. That exact incident that costs Michael Clough the championship. Lee Horn in the background there fighting to try and go through. Pavel Makonin's into 3rd. The gap is still in Michael Clough's favour. At the moment, Michael Clough is into 8th. So there is the gaggle of the 4 Renaults. They are all working together. Michael Clough should clear Stu Neal for team orders. I think that's going to come up very, very quickly. There's Stu Neal in the 34. He's the car ahead. There's Michael Clough. There it is. There's the team orders. Michael Clough has gone defensive. That should allow him to get past Stu Neal. Stu Neal should get this done. There it is. That's the team order. That's the switch. Michael Clough now into 6th. He is in the championship winning position. But Pavel Makonin can do no more. He has to hope that either Michael Clough gets taken out or there is a sim twitch going on. Alex Everett is on the charge in the background. He's trying to get past Benny Norton, Podiflak and Fraser Rostance. I don't think that's going to happen. There's Lee Horn in that Honda. He's really, as he was on, so he's really finding that thing in the second half. Paul Hans in that bright yellow DHL Honda. He has led a lap of the race. He's led a lap. He's going to be ecstatic with that. Russ Butcher is doing it all. Jeff Perkis is giving his lights as well. He's turning off. So Pavel Makonin gets the job done. He's into second. Russ Butcher is going to get mugged now by Perkis and Ward. There's Clough in the background, but Alex Everett is right on the back of this. We'll watch that as Pavel Makonin unfolds. This is on board with Alex Everett. He's up into 11th position. 5 times a winner here, but he's been out for the second half of the season. So I think he's just enjoying the racing without the pressure of racing. There's Alex Ward. He's at the back of this gaggle of the cars. Top 5 between Hans, Makonin, Butcher, Perkis and Ward. They are all nose to tail through the left-hander they go. Pavel Makonin, he can do no more. He can do no more. So he just needs to go home with the final victory of the season. This should be job done. He goes in nice and tidy through the left-hander. A little bit of a touch there, nothing in that. That's completely above board. Great racing between both of them. And this should be Pavel Makonin. He can do no more. There is no more he can do now. He just needs to get that last victory of the season, ticks the box, and go for it. Paul Hans, he's going to be trying to go for his first top 3 finish of the season, so he's going to want that. Same as Butcher, but Butcher is getting held up. They're going to go 2 by 2 up the Rouge now. This is very dangerous, riding on board with Perkis down to that front camera, and you can just see all of them climb up the hill. Perkis is full send up there, and they're all over the road trying to hold on to the tyres. There is Michael Clough. He's trying to go after Alex Ward in that number 7, but now Clough can't afford a mistake. He cannot afford a penalty with less than 10 minutes to go, because if he gets a penalty, it's game over. He's only in top 3. Clough has gone up. He's got the job done. He's got the overspeed there. So Michael Clough is in 4th. He might be thinking race victory here. He might be going for the double this time out. Where's Everett gone? There's Alex Everett. He's down in 13th. I think he must have had a coming off somewhere, because he's down in 13th. He's there with Craig Deeks. Right, Russ Butcher is going to get passed by Michael Clough. He is. Michael Clough has turned the wick on now. He's going for doubles. He's going for race 2 and race 3 victory here in the last race of the season. Pavel Makonin wants that last one. You want to bow out. Shaw's Euster is going to go past Roy Plummer. There's Roy Plummer, currently the CA3 champion at the moment as it stands. He's been doing all he needs to do. Gabriel Lopez, he's trying to join the back of this party. Where is Michael Clough? He's past Butcher. Perkis is now going after Butcher. So we're riding on board now with Perkis. He is attacking the man ahead, and he's also defending from Alex Ward behind. So Alex Ward, where's Fraser Rostans? He's down in 9th position. He's not really made any progress after he's had to take the ballast on board that car, and that's really hurt him in that second half of the season, because he's got faster and faster and faster, and because he's got faster, he's got ballast, and that's really hurt him. Less than 7 minutes to go of the final race of the Crest World Touring Car Challenge. I think it's season 9. Through the right-hander, there's a 34. Stu Neal is going to try and go around for Alex Ward, and then there's Poddy Flack as well. Has he got it done? No, he hasn't. Fraser Rostan. Alex Ward going, you're not coming through there, mate. Slows that door solidly shut. The front at the moment, Paul Hans is in 2nd position. Anastasios, has he gone round the corner? He's gone round the corner. Bill Campion, he's gone off. They're all struggling at this corner. Whoa, that was a very unsafe rejoin. But it is what it is. Last race of the season. Michael Clough is on the back of Paul Hans. Paul Hans will be dying to get a podium position. He wants that bronze medal position. He has been last season out in season 8 in the Assen TT circuit. He was top 5, highest finish so far that I've seen by commentating. So he's going to want a top 3. That will further boost his confidence. When he runs on his own, he's a hot lapper, so he can run really, really fast on his own. But in the pack, he's taken the clever move there. He's just said go past. Stu Neal is side by side with Benny Norton. He's not side by side, he's actually behind him. So these two are basically working in the same team. Shaw's Euster and Rodrigo Portugal, he's got that job done as it stands at the moment. And I don't see... We've lost a couple of the races. Stu Neal is fighting with his teammate Benny Norton, so they're all going for high prizes at the end of the season. All right, Alex Everett is now back on the back of Craig Deeks. He should get this done. Paul Hans, slow down penalty. That's going to compromise him. That could put him back into the clutches of Butcher. I'm keeping an eye on Michael Clough and Pavel Makonnen because they both want to take the last race of the season. But this is Everett and Craig Deeks. Perkis is on the back of Butcher. I'm keeping an eye on that as it unfolds. Everett should get this done. This should be a clean move through. Yeah, that's job done. Yeah, he's just quicker. Absolutely sensational racing there from Craig Deeks. He just says, I'm not your race, I'm going to let you go. Alex Ward is in the whole half of the pack again. He's really found speed in that second half of the season. There he is. He's riding on board now with Perkis. Race winner, by the way. Scooby Sim Racing on YouTube if you want to watch him on board live. Same as Pavel Makonnen races on board. Pavel Makonnen at this current time has got the make of Michael Clough, but Michael Clough doesn't need to do any more. If he stays where he is, I believe he will be the season champion. Lee Horn is at the back. There he is in 10th position. Fraser Rostand is in 9th. 63 versus the number 7. So those two are trying to go. Lee Horn struggled this time out within that little Honda, but like he said before, he hasn't got his teammate Jamie Dory with him. And I think those two would run around together helping each other out. So he is Team Luss, teammate Team Late Must this season. But Alex Ward is going to attempt to go up the inside. He's the number 7. 55 is Perkis. So has he got the job done? A little bit of a twitch there, but yeah, that's job done. Very good move. But Jeff Perkis now has Benny Norton side by side with him going up Eau Rouge. One of them's going to have to back out, or they're both going to have to take a massive brave pill. This just won't work going through there. Perkis thinks better of it. He thinks, I'm the attacking driver, but he's got the overspeed. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Perkis. He thought of it, thought about he used all 900% of his brain and just absolutely flew through that corner. But has he managed to get past? No, he hasn't. Stu Neal also followed him through and said thank you very much and takes the position back. Brilliant stuff. So at the moment, Butcher once again riding on board with Butcher is holding up from 4th to 10th position, all in the same camera shot, and you can see Poddy Flack just driving in there. Butcher has ballast on board that car and he's really struggling, and you can see riding on back now from Lee Horn onto the camera cockpit view of Lee Horn. He is in 10th. There is all the way to 4th. It's anybody's game with the last 2 laps remaining. Anybody of these could get it. Alex Ward is pushing and pushing and pushing. Paul Hans, he wants that podium position. There he is, the yellow DHL Honda. He is all on his own. There he is. I don't think Michael Clough is going to get Pavel Makonnen. Pavel Makonnen, I think, is going to take race 2, the race 3 victory. He will take the honours of being another new race victory this season out. But Alex Ward at the moment is attacking the back of Russ Butcher. Benny Norton is also attacking the back of Alex Ward. There's Alex Ward. He's in the white Peugeot, that number 7. And ahead of that, there's Butcher. Behind that is Neil Perkis and Lee Horn. Again, he's really found form second half of this season. If you watched the comms 3-4 weeks ago, he said, I'm just enjoying my racing now. I'm having fun. And you can see that he's just so much more confident in the car. He's having a bit of banging doors, and he loves a bit of that, and it's ticking him out. Look at him go. He's got past Rostance. And I think Rostance is really struggling, but look at this battle at the front. Last lap, this is it. This will be the last lap of the season, and it's all to play for now. Pavel Makonnen is 0.5 of a second ahead of Michael Clough. Can Pavel Makonnen take the honours of a race victory this time out? He wants to take it. He wants to have that tick box. I don't think Michael Clough can do it. He's too far back, but you've got a lot of ballast on board. Pavel Makonnen, a little bit of sim twitching there. Can he hold on to this? Can he wind it up to 11? This is going to be the only real opportunity where Michael Clough can take it. Alex Ward is on the back of Butcher. Alex Ward is the second car, the white one. Paul Hans will take 3rd at this current rate, but look, there is Butcher. He has all over the background. Perkis and Lee Horn are side by side. Benny Norton's going for it. Alex Ward is holding on to it. Can he do it? Look at the overspeed there. Absolutely takes it, but Ward just sends it. He takes a brave pill and just goes, I'm hitting the brakes. And those two have squabbled so much that they've lost positions. Lee Horn did get past Perkis in the background, but these two are still fighting each other. There is Alex Ward, left-hand side. There is Norton. Brilliant stuff between these two, side by side. It's the last race and the last lap of the season 9. There is no love lost now. It's gloves out. Pavel Makonin has Michael Clough all over his rear end. We're going to follow this through to the end of the season. Lee Horn is on the back of Stu Neal. Well, he was, but he's not now. The board is pretty stagnant. There's Derek Neal, slow down penalty. Derek Neal isn't even on my board, but apparently he's got a slow down penalty. So Derek Neal is somewhere on the board, but I cannot see him. Yeah, sorry, Derek Neal. I can't see you. For some unknown reason, it just won't load up your stuff. So, as it stands at the moment, there is Pavel Makonin. What can he do from here? There he is. He's in first. He needs to hold on to this. I am willing him to hold on for the last race of the season, for the last lap of the season. Poddy Flack has binned it into the wall on the final lap. Pavel Makonin is fighting Michael Clough. Now, Michael Clough cannot get a penalty. If he gets a penalty, Michael Clough could lose the championship. There aren't that many points, so he doesn't want to do anything silly. Pavel Makonin should surely take the last lap of the season and be this. He's absolutely drove superbly for the final race of the season. He could do no more, but Paul Hans is going to bring it home in third. Paul Hans, absolutely brilliant. Butcher holds on to fourth. Ward is fifth. Horn is sixth. Perkis, Usurp, Norton, Derek Neal, Stu Neal, Portugal, Plummer, Rostance, Lopez. Boki is going to bring it home. Boki in that little Alfa Romeo, he missed a couple of rounds, but he had some sensational racing at the back. Anastasios, again, brilliant racer, just needs to work on the consistency. Kirby and Campion and Carl Smith bringing the car home in 20th position. Absolutely brilliant stuff for the final race of the season. So Pavel Makonin, we're going to wait for confirmation of the final race. So I've had confirmation that they are going to do the race results. They will all be provisional, as always, but Pavel Makonin will take the honours for the final race of the season. There is confirmation of your provisional results. Pavel Makonin, final race of the season. Another win for him. Michael Clough is in second. Paul Hans is in third. Butcher is in fourth. Ward, Horn, Perkis, Norton, Usa, Deeks, Neal, Portugal, Plummer, Rostance, Lopez, Boki, Anastasios, Kirby, Campion, and Smith. And that's how it stacks up for the rest of the season, because there is no other season. Absolutely brilliant stuff, as always. That is it. I'm going to wait. I will be here with you for the next about 20 minutes, I suspect. There were actually some other drivers on here. They were classed as DNFs. Unfortunately, because I think they had a DNF in the other race, that meant that they couldn't race in that race, which is a bit of a shame. But it is what it is. Right. Totally missed the breaking point. Right. Let's have a look at... we're going to go into the interview room. We do have Michael Clough in here. At the moment, he's in the interview room. We're going to see if we can actually get in here, because, as always, we always have technical difficulties with this thing. Yeah, as always, we need to go in there. Hold on. Confirm. Because, as always, we can't get into anything. We're going to try and get in. As always, we want to go in there. But, let's have a look. No. We're going to see if we can get in. So we do have Michael Clough in the interview room. And there we go. Now we're in. Fantastic stuff. Right. Let's hit the Discord button. Fantastic. Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Could you turn your volume up a little bit?
I can try. Give me 2 seconds.
Not to 11, of course. Right, so that's good. Right, so they're doing the race results now, but by my fag pack maths, I believe you are I believe you have won the championship.
Yeah, I think I might have done. And I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any protests or anything to come off the back of this. I don't think so. It was a pretty clean race, to be fair. Nice, easy, open track, so people can give plenty of room. Yeah, I think that might be the case. But I'm not going to count my chickens till they've hatched.
Yeah, because you always have to be careful with things like that. So, I mean, I was saying at the start of commentary, again, take us through that. So, obviously, you've had a couple of DNS this season, which really hurt you. And obviously, it was first half of the season. Obviously, it was a big team game between the Corsa boys, yourself, and obviously the other guys. And Pavel Makonin had Kozlov and Alec as well, so there was a good team game in there. But he's got raw speed.
Oh, massively, yeah. And I mean, I've raced against him in other leagues, and he is super quick. So, and to be honest, I probably couldn't have done it without the team, and I couldn't have done it without playing the strategy. Because, like Pavel, fair play to him, goes out there and tries to qualify as high up as he can every single time, and I prefer a racy car, and I didn't really care if on balance it wasn't going to work out well, but I just preferred to have more fun by having a racy car, and 50 kilograms wasn't really doing it, so I was always happy to sacrifice qualifying in the first race and just see how far I got, just so I could have more fun in the second two, and it's paid off.
Because there was a big risk in that race. Well, obviously in race one, when you watch commentary back, qualified 11th to shave the ballast, but there was a big risk. It was 27 car field, and Stu Neal, I've spoken to him before. His inconsistency is a little bit out. Same as Poddy. Benny Norton seems to be like the Renaults. Was there always that? Well, because obviously you changed the Renault to this last one, but. Was there always that worry that that you could have got it wrong, because you got through to race 2, and obviously in race 2 you won it, and then race 3 Pavel was in 11th, so he was going to win that. But there was that incident going up Eau Rouge to that final corner, and then you just gained those positions. So was there always that risk today? Was there a game plan when you went, I'm not going to beat him I'm not being disrespectful, but Pavel's fast.
No. Yeah,
like he's just fast. I mean, unballasted, he's rapid. So was it? Exactly. We're going to need a game plan, because to beat him, I'm going to have to use the strategies.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it was I can't remember. It was it Brands Hatch's first race, and the very very first race, me and him were neck and neck, but he had the edge, and then the second two races, it was really painful with having weight on board, and I just thought, you know what? I prefer to have like I say, I like to have a quick car and just have fun with it and see where the chips fall. So it was a risk, and it's been a risk all throughout the season, but it broadly pays off, and I have more fun doing it. So that's the main thing, really. It's what we're all here for. Yeah,
to have a bit of fun, which is always good. So, I mean, you've gone for the Renault this season. Have you enjoyed the Renault? Have you found it? Obviously, they fixed the launch mod at Laguna Seca, so you could actually launch the car.
Yeah.
Was that good? Did you find yourself, you were like, oh, thankfully they fixed that? Because up until that point, all the Renaults statistically had lost at least one place on the start grid. On the start,
it wasn't great. Yeah, that was another reason for wanting to shave the ballast at the start of the season. Was the starts? If you had any weight on board at all, you would just wheel spin, and it was for anything from 5 kilograms up to the maximum, it would wheel spin, and there wasn't really anything you could do about it. We were trying to mess around with the amount of throttle that we were putting on for the launch, and you could minimise it to an extent, but you would always lose at least one position, if not two. And at Laguna Seca, the car just worked without them fixing it. And it was coincidentally at the same time I raised it to RaceRoom as a bug, in the hope that they could fix it before the end of the season. And I pointed out that it works at Laguna, but it doesn't work everywhere else, if that helps you to narrow things down. And they had a little play around and managed to get it sorted. So, yeah, really grateful for that, because it stopped us falling backwards at the starts and having to make up ground.
Okay, so I've got the provisional table results. Obviously, pending any incidents, accidents, or investigations, you did win.
Oh, fantastic.
Only by 45 points.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot.
It's a race win. It's less than a race win, isn't it? So,
and statistically, when we were doing the math with Slider on between race 2 and 3, you had to finish 8th or higher in order to win. Otherwise, Pavel won.
The thing is, as well, with the history of races that we've had this season, 2 DNFs in 20 races, so that's like a 10%. I was praying that it wasn't. Oh, in fact, sorry, it's more, isn't it? It's 30 races, 10. Was it 10 rounds?
No, 8 rounds.
8 rounds. All right, okay. So yeah, it kind of is kind of closer to 10% then. But yeah, I was worried about a potential DQ or a DNF, but I just approached the race like I did every other time, and because that would have been the end of it then. Yeah.
Pavel finished second, 45 points. Benny Norton was third on 66. He only just beat Lee Horn.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I think Benny, I had a bit of a mare in the
was
last
67 at 748. Lee Horn was 717. Again, if you're watching this live, this is all provisional, and I have to stress that because any incidents or accidents have to be reviewed, which could affect the table. But as it stands at the moment, the provisional results is you're first, Pavel is second, and Benny is third. But when we spoke to Lee, it's a shame he's not on the stream, because when I'd spoken to Lee before, between the 2 races, a while back, he was he hadn't really found pace in that Honda.
It's a struggle, man. I mean, we had a thought about trying the Honda right before the season when me and Stu were playing around with the cars, and it's so understeery. They've done so well to get that car as quick as they've got it, because we were playing around with it with the setup and we couldn't get anything like a decent lap out of it. So, credit to them. They've done a good job getting it as quick as they have.
Which is really good. So, in terms of the rounds that you've got, you've got a lot. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's 5 to 7. So Pavel won the most races. You come in second and 5th, which is honest. Yep. That's really good. So obviously, well done on that, on the provisional. And as I said, I say provisional because it has to be confirmed as always. Sure. We're looking at this live. Was there one particular round that you really enjoyed above all the rest? Obviously, the last one, because that's where technically you will win the championship. But
yeah, and it's the one that you didn't stream, Nagaro. I'd never raced there before, and looking at it, I was thinking this is going to be another follow the leader like Zandvoort. But it actually didn't turn out to be that way at all, and it was a fantastic track for racing. Lot of switchbacks, lefts and rights, opportunities to overturn the guy that you were challenging. Mm-hmm. Lots of opportunities to be overturned yourself, and it was lots of generous runoff. I don't think I had too many incidents, so I didn't need to use them, but it was there for the others. That was a really fun round.
Yeah, it's a shame I missed that one. From what I understand, it was really good, to be honest. So, obviously, next season, are you going to come back and defend your title? That's going to be the big question.
We'll have to see how it goes, yeah. We'll have to see how it fits on the calendar, whenever the next season's going to happen. But yeah, I wouldn't be the sort of person to sort of just cut and run. Not doing a Rosberg.
You're like, I've done it now, because I can see that next season is. I think if hopefully you and Pavel will both come back, and I think if Pavel can get the teammates, I think it's going to be really exciting. It was already exciting, but that first half of the season just had that different dynamic.
Yes, it did. You're right.
Because he was being towed by everybody, and then you were being towed by everybody, and that's a big question. So for this season, have you found that that's an exciting new element to it
that's come into play?
Yeah and no. I mean, there's always been the team element, and it's like my teammates run me hard, and they are just as deserving of the positions as I am. So you'll find oftentimes, except until it's like a foregone conclusion, like in this race, there wasn't really any letting past going on. But yeah, it is good. It's good having teammates. It's good having some banter while you're on the chat, and you can talk about strategy and how you're all doing against other teams and other drivers, and you sort of help where you can. You don't want to sacrifice your own race, obviously, but yeah, it's a good dynamic. I think it keeps things interesting. It's a shame there's not more teams sort of doing the same.
I think it's the disparity. I think it's I'm not being rude because everyone still drives faster than I do, but again, it's that disparity. So, like with Alex Everett, for example, he was racing the first half of the season, but he needs his teammate, and his teammate was CA2. Was the Belgian Steven? I've forgotten the guy's name now. Steven somebody. And I think that the difference is that you've taken that. The CA1 guys really need to be teammates with CA1 guys. Unless they make it so that you have to team up with a different category to balance it, maybe. But then I don't know how you'd police that, how you'd arrange it and coordinate it. It might just end up a bit carnage. But and the cars,
I'm just fortunate. Yeah, that's it. And I'm just fortunate that the guys that I race with are all very quick as well. So.
Well, I think it's added this season from last season to this season. I think it's added a fantastic element. Personally, I think it's brilliant. It's just like real motorsport because that's what happens in the real world. To be perfectly honest, and congratulations because I've got it here. So obviously, congratulations, and hopefully next season you and Pavel will be fighting it out once again. To be honest, I think it's and it's two different ways, and I love it because Pavel, Pavel's fast. He's just fast. I mean, he's an esports driver, and he drives around with his own logo on the car. I mean,
that tells you enough, doesn't it?
It tells you enough. He's a fast driver. But what I love is that you've got a fast driver who's just fast, and then you've got yourself who's fast, but you have to use strategy. So it's two different ways to try and win the same race, and I think that's brilliant. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So. Again, well done. I'm going to leave it there for the season. Hopefully you'll be back for next season, same as Pavel as well, that you'll both be fighting it out for the next champion. Yeah.
Maybe get some more Pavel types in. And then we can,
I say that now.
We can take points off each other.
Well, you watch. I say that now, but someone else will turn up. And I mean, because Lloyd Biddulph used to race, so he might. Well, no, he does R Factor 2 now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he switched. Yeah,
he switched to R Factor 2 because he was fast.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's for best that he's moved on. You're
like, just keep going. You can be fast, but not as fast as me.
Yeah. There's being quick and there's cleaning up.
Right. Well, thank you for joining me. Congratulations, as always. It's been brilliant following you through the season. Hopefully, we'll see you next season to defend your title. And enjoy the off season.
Thanks very much. Cheers, Andy.
No
it's been a
worries.
pleasure. Looking forward to watching it back.
Cool. Cheers. Bye-bye. And that's it. The only big surprise, well, it's not the big surprise, it is
the last thing I want to touch. So on the provisional results here that we've got, the big name in here, which is massive for me, is Alex Ward. So Alex Ward, remember, won at Laguna Seca. He came on and did commentary, come in to talk to us. And he's finished 6th in the overall championship. He is the winner of the CA2, which is brilliant. Your CA3 winner is Roy Plummer in the second best livery. The best livery goes to Paul Hans, because I love that car. So Roy Plummer actually wins the second, the CA3 category, and he's been solid through the entire race. And when you actually look at his positions. He's basically first, third, first. He hasn't finished, bar round 3 of Suzuka, where he had a DNF. He's always been top 3 of the CA3 category, which is absolutely astonishing. Alex Ward has been, again, taken the most victories in CA2, and that's absolutely astounding. And what's absolutely brilliant is Alex actually has a, where are we, number 6, and Alex has a victory this season as well, which is absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, yeah. And that's it for me for this season. I'll be back next season as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your evenings.